Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I need a motion for the acceptance of the agenda. Motion, please. Ron, second. Sam, any questions? All in favor? Okay, anybody for a public forum? Okay. I need a motion for the consensus agenda. Ron and Sam. Any questions? All in favor? Okay, so we have the granting of tenure of Alexandra Guzzi. So I need a motion for granting the tenure. Margaret and Ron? Any questions? All in favor? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And I think I have something here. You want to? Oh, no, you have it. I gave it to you, right? Oh, you took it. Okay.
But we have to get up and do pictures. And I just wanted to congratulate you, Alex. I've had the pleasure of being in your room just a few times, but every time I've been there, it's excellence for students, and you can tell you care about them. And there's a little information for everybody, some exemplar practices that Alex is involved in, but I just invite Laura to say a few words about Alex.
Absolutely. Those of you who don't know, I'm Laura Backlund, and I'm the principal for Alex. And I've had the pleasure of working with her for the last 3 years. Her classroom is really an exemplar, and I could see her really becoming a teacher leader among our staff. I would love to have other people visit her classroom in the way that she differentiates for students. She finds opportunities for kids to find success, whether they're struggling or extending their knowledge when they're trying different concepts. She also just is a really positive light in our school. She participates in all of our different activities. She's also very, very large impact in our community. So she has worked over the summer being the camp director at one of the local camps. She had to take a step down so she could get married this year, but she's just an overall incredible person. She worked in pre-K and now is in first grade and just continues to bring such light to our school. So it's with honor recommending her.
Thank you.
Yay!
Sure.
So the PTO donated you flowers and a little plant that says you've put down roots here.
Aww.
It was really cute.
Thank you.
And then we need flowers for you.
And a certificate. And yes, we're going to have you come stand up here and get a picture, and we can do that with your family quickly if you'd like. And Bonnie, do you want to come up?
Sure.
You can do whatever you feel comfortable with, but you do have to hold this like a tight.
Do you want to come up, Laura?
Don't do this.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yay.
Congratulations again.
Somebody more needs to come.
Okay. Okay, so we have some presentations. We have the English Senior Research Project presentation.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Megan Quinnan, and I'm so grateful to be here tonight to share with you all my senior research project on the effects of noise pollution on our Earth. What is noise pollution and how does it affect us? Noise pollution is the harmful or unwanted levels of sound in the environment. It poses a growing danger to the health of humans, animals, and the earth as a whole. Everyone experiences dangerous levels of noise pollution on a daily basis. The decibels of sound that we are exposed to can have serious effects that are often overlooked due to a lack of awareness. Why is it a concern? Well, when most people think of pollution, they often think of like smog-filled skies or the trash and garbage that pollutes our oceans. However, noise pollution is the second largest environmental cause of health problems following air pollution, which puts it above water pollution. Exposure to high decibels could lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, sleep disturbances, hearing loss, and stress. Evidence shows that noise pollution causes your body to activate its hypothalamic pituitary adrenal and axis and sympathetic nervous system. And if you're not aware of what that is, it's basically your fight or flight. So every time you're being exposed to high decibels of noise, your fight or flight is being triggered, which causes immense stress for your body and just causes you a whole bunch of anxiety, which is not good for you. It's more common than people think. Approximately 10 million people in the US have permanent hearing loss from environmental noise or noise-related trauma. For humans, 60 to 70 decibels are generally considered safe, while sounds above 85 decibels, reached by lawnmowers and subway trains, are considered harmful. So I don't know if this applies to anyone here, but I know during the summer months, my dad is out there on the lawnmower, he's leaf blowing, he's weed whacking, doing this all without hearing protection, like ear, the protective devices that you wear, just because he's simply not aware of the effects that noise pollution can cause. It affects mental health and learning. Several studies associate road traffic noise exposure with mental health. It can increase the risk of depression by 4% and anxiety by 9%. As a result of aircraft noise alone, 12,500 school children are estimated to suffer from learning impairment in school. This is because noise pollution interferes with speech and language development, decreases concentration, impairs memory retention, and increases blood pressure. Unfortunately, the U.S. does not have much data. So the U.S. government has provided almost no funding for noise-related research since the 1980s. So most of the data I had to get was from Europe and European countries. And they found that estimates hold that chronic noise exposure contributes to 48,000 new cases of heart disease in Europe each year and disrupts the sleep of 6.5 million people. They also found that disability-adjusted life years lost from environmental noise is estimated to 61,000 years for ischemic heart disease, 45,000 for cognitive impairment in children, 903,000 for sleep disturbance, 22,000 for tinnitus, and 654 years for annoyance. And if you aren't aware of what disability-adjusted life years are, it's basically the amount of years lost due to a disability. So not only does it affect humans, it also affects our environment and the animals that live on it. So for marine life, when we use oil drills or sonar devices to explore the ocean and gather natural resources, it can interfere with marine animals' ability to use echolocation. So whales and dolphins and any other marine life that utilizes echolocation, it cuts off their communication, and this can interfere with their breeding patterns and just decrease the biodiversity of our aquatic life systems. So, and the sonar devices can potentially change the feeding routines of the endangered blue whale species, which is not good because they're endangered and need to be helped. So the sound blast can also damage the ears of marine animals and cause injuries to them. Oh, so we can't really see that one, but I apologize. But it's the effects on non-marine animals. So, like pets and our other, I don't think there's a, is there
I
a
tried
way
to do the brightest sound thing, it would do it, but just did it on my computer.
I think, we know it's working.
Yeah.
Okay, I can still see it, but I apologize. Many wild animals suffer from fertility problems because their migration patterns can be altered when they are exposed to high decibels. Okay, that's actually.
I'm really trying.
No, it's
More of a
it's working.
distraction.
It showed up on my laptop. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay. Many wild animals suffer from fertility problems and changes in their migration routes when exposed to noise pollution, which isn't good because if they're having fertility problems, they're not being able to reproduce. If they're not migrating to the places that they need to be, this can decrease our biodiversity and hurt the ecosystem. And there have been studies done on lab rats, where they've been on pain medication and not on pain medication and then exposed to high decibels of noise. And when they were not on the pain medication, they showed an increase in their cortisol hormone, which is the stress hormone, and they had a faster heart rate and an increased blood pressure. And you may be wondering, well, what about animals that are deaf and humans that are deaf? How are they impacted by noise pollution? And basically, it's not the sound that's just a problem, it's the vibrations from the noise, because they can significantly impact animals by damaging and shaking them internally, so it hurts their organs. So like if we're out at concerts or busy streets, or if someone's at a rave, a sound vibration can shake you internally, and that can damage your organs. And the last type of noise pollution I'm going to be talking about today is occupational noise pollution. So 22 million workers are exposed to potentially damaging sound each year. Loud noise can damage and kill hearing receptor cells in our inner ears, which results in permanent hearing loss that cannot be corrected through surgery or hearing aids. But luckily, most companies have been finding ways to combat this by limiting the amount of time a worker spends at a noise source, providing quiet space for workers, and encouraging them to wear protective gear, as seen in the picture to the right. And I've also researched some solutions on this. So what you can do personally for your lifestyle, you can wear noise canceling headphones or invest in a white noise machine, and also sleep in quieter areas of your house. And for countries as a whole, recently, European countries have been installing low noise asphalt on the roads, using quiet tires in public transport vehicles, and promoting walking, electric cars, and cycling. Some regions have even gone as far as to put in place quiet areas where people can go to escape the busy city noise. And here's reflective questions. So, did my research lead to the expected or unexpected? I went into this project well aware of what noise pollution is, so I feel like my findings were pretty expected. What did I learn that was new about my topic? So I did not know that deaf people could also be affected by noise pollution as well. I think it's very interesting that vibrations can actually shake them and harm people internally. And what further questions I have about my topic? Well, I didn't put this in my slideshow, but some of my research has told me that noise pollution is mostly experienced by minorities and communities of lower income. So I kind of would like to know more about that and research more into that. And then more reflective questions. Would I have done something differently during the research process? I would have liked to look into other countries like China and India, because they're so densely populated. So I would like to know how they're dealing with noise pollution and how they would combat it. And would I have chosen a different topic in hindsight? I originally did have a different topic, but I'm very glad that I switched to this one because I'm so passionate about our planet and the life on it. So I'm happy to spread awareness on noise pollution. And there's my works cited. So, is there any questions that anybody has?
Very good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have a question. So I do like the fact that you're pointing out about the other ways people are affected by it. Why do you think that there's not a lot of information for the United States, like your data? Why do you think it's that?
Because I think we're just so, as a society, we're so worried about funding other things, in that I feel like noise pollution isn't as we're not aware to it because it's invisible type of pollution. We can't see it like smoke in the skies or the garbage in the water. So the government hasn't been funding it because they're not worried about it, because we're not aware of it. But if we, as a society, stand up for it and tell the government and tell people that it is a problem, maybe they'll start doing something. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm all done.
Okay, we have the mathematics and science department updates.
So if I can just interject before they start, this is something that we talked about rotating every few years so that each department has an opportunity to just talk about the work that they're doing from their lens in the classroom and about our students. So, and I know Brian can't be here this evening, but Angela and Brooke are here to present, and I just want to thank you both for working with Elsa or Dr. Courtwright Torres to put this together and for your time to be here and for being the first ones to do it. Thank you.
Angela Webster, thank
Hi,
you very much
Angela.
for having me here tonight. All right, so I'm just hoping to give you a little bit of an overview of what's happening in our classrooms, what challenges we're facing, what we're trying to look forward to moving forward to try to reach some goals and improve scores. So, just want to introduce our department and exactly what they teach. So Brian was unable to be here tonight due to the fact that his family is sick. We have Brianna Beebe, which we forgot today, sorry about that, I'll fire Brian later. Liz Rhodes, Michelle Moore, Ellen Slocum, Andrew Harden, and myself. All right, so these are the courses that we currently offer. In grade 7, we have 7th grade math and accelerated. In grade 8, we offer 8th grade math and also accelerated, which they take algebra 1 as 8th graders. In grade 9, we have moved everyone this year to Next Gen Algebra 1, and we also have AIS math to support them. The AIS is also offered in grade junior high as well. For grade 10, we have Next Gen Geometry. And in grade 11, we offer Next Gen Algebra 2, Pre-Calc, Pre-Algebra 2, College Prep. And some of these courses could also be taken as 10th graders or also as seniors. At the college level, we have College Statistics, College Algebra, College Prep 2, which is not based on the name. It sounds like it's a college course, but it's more a preparation course for them going to take like an entrance level exam in math, and then we offer the calculus. So our mission statement is basically, we want to focus on building confident, critical thinkers, develop their problem-solving skills, and their perseverance most of all. Our goals are to improve our student retention of the knowledge that we teach them and increase their performance on state assessments. In order to reach those goals, we offer many different instructional techniques to differentiate. We offer video instruction where some classes have the students watch videos prior to coming to class and then basically flip the classroom. We use online resources such as the ALEX program in the middle school where they take an assessment and then each student is given a program to help improve their skills going off in different directions. We offer small group instruction and we use technology, especially the use in the upper levels with the TI Inspire that offers them a tool to explore at a faster rate. Our challenges are obviously our student processing time with all the different varying levels and abilities. The processing time is different for every student, which makes it difficult to get through all the content, but also help differentiate because different groups, different students will be at different areas. Oops, sorry. We check for understanding to make sure that they are meeting our learning target through questioning techniques, conversations, individual conversations with students, our quizzes, our exams. We use exit tickets and bell ringers. Again, our challenges are it's difficult for us to slow down when students are not understanding due to the large amount of content that we have to cover in our syllabus. Remediation, what it looks like. We offer extra help during study halls, lunch periods, after school. We try to offer one-on-one assistance throughout the classroom when they're working on some independent work. We have them work in groups with each other to offer peer assistance. We have AIS academic support. We try to spiral our assignments so that they're constantly reviewing old material. And also we offer some of us offer some mastery learning where if they take an exam, they are asked to do test corrections, do a corrective assignment, and then given an opportunity to retake with the goal of them mastering that content area, which I know personally I've seen a lot of improvement in their scores. Challenges that we have is that we are not able to get all the students that we want into that AIS support, and also getting students to stay after, and again, our class size. And when all else fails, I have a big giant ruler and I use that for remediation. All right, so we have Reveal Math in the middle school. How is this working? We help students visualize concepts and practice completing math topics in a digital platform. Helps build their skills and confidence needed to succeed on the online state assessment. Again, also it allows them to work a little bit more at their pace. Challenges that What did I do?
It definitely wasn't you.
All right, well, it's still on the other TV, so I'll just move it this way.
All right, so challenges. The platforms take longer to grade for instructors, slowing down the feedback and instructional planning. And the workbook that they have doesn't provide enough space for note-taking, challenging students recording their thoughts and strategies. So they, they want to encourage that note-taking. So that's just one thing that they found to be difficult. And will it still work if I?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dr. KT had shared, I believe in the last board meeting, our passing rates for all of these exams. And this is what we have over the last 3-year span. The Algebra 1 was Common Core in 2023. We did have an 82% passing rate, but I want to make sure you guys understand that that year was
back.
Oh, good. All right, so. Good thing you have so many TVs. All right, in 2023, that was the year when we had, one of the years where we had flipped it, where we had geometry freshman year and Algebra 1 sophomore year. And it really proved to work for Algebra 1, but not so much for the geometry regions. Some of those students just were more mature thinkers as sophomores, the weaker students as well, and it proved to help us get more of them through. And then we switched to next gen, and we've seen a decline. Geometry has been a huge struggle. It's so rigorous. It's a reading test, really challenges their critical thinking, and we need to take a look at what students we're putting in that geometry course to take it. It just may not be the level for them, and we might be forcing too many of them, so we're going to talk a little bit later in the presentation about what might be an alternative. And these are our Algebra 2 scores. Also want you to think about too, while you may say that these are higher, it's a smaller percentage of our population. These are your advanced students, or the percent of the population that did pass the geometry that moved on, so it's not every student taking Algebra 2. All right, so we did offer credit recovery over for Algebra 1 this summer, trying to improve the Algebra 1 test scores, and we did have 15 students attend. That summer school, we met once a week for roughly 2.5 hours each time. I think it was 7 sessions, and it was co-taught with Brianna Beebe and myself. We focused on the high frequency topics. Students worked throughout the entire sessions. I was very impressed with the focus. And they really honestly wanted to learn when they were there. And what they wanted also was they wanted our attention constantly. They wanted us to answer all of their questions. And I know that there was absolutely no way that we could have done that as one. So I'm really grateful for the fact that we had 2 teachers there, because we were constantly moving around the room and very exhausted after we were done. But we felt, and I think even after this, I've built so many relationships with those kids. They see me in the hall now, they connect with me. Even though we only got 6 to pass, there were 6 others that scored between a 60 and 64, which was a huge improvement for a lot of them. Some of the things that we want to take a deeper dive into is, how do we prepare our students better for the Algebra 1? Should we be looking into different course pathways for a lot of our students? How do we develop them to be more independent, critical thinkers? Because especially in that group, that level, they really wanted us to handle them. But they also wanted that positive reinforcement. And when they got it, they continued to work. And how do we also then increase rigor, increase more of our students to maybe take a college level course, and also improve our AP participation? And one of the things that we've been discussing is reestablishing our pathways to meet or exceed our graduation requirements, to fine tune how we place students based on their needs, to make sure that we're focusing on the prerequisites for each course before we put them in and schedule them into a class. We definitely need to go back, and this is something we have tried in the past, where we had a 2-year algebra, where it was, we called it Algebra 1A, whatever, it doesn't matter what it's called, but we want a 2-year algebra, 1A, 1B, where they can go at a slower pace. Maybe the first year is more of a foundations that builds skills, and then maybe they only have to go at 2/3 of the pace in the second year, and they would take that region to the end of their sophomore year, which, again, based on experience, I've seen that the results are better after our 2-year algebra and putting them right into that Regents track. And then,
Well, can I ask a question?
sure,
So I understand that part, but what about, I mean, before they get to this level, isn't that we should be doing something before they get to this? So that maybe it wouldn't be a 2-year, like if they're getting the basics in 7th and 8th grade, or they're getting the fundamentals, then when they're going into 9th grade, they would be better prepared for that class? I mean, do you think, I mean, I know we had some COVID in there, we had a lot of stuff going on.
right, but
So-
there are a lot of basic content skills that these students just honestly are not retaining. And it's not that they're not being taught or reinforced consistently, they're just not retaining. I see it at a different level even in my classes
Yeah,
in Algebra 2. So if, yes, there are things that we can also do in 7th and 8th grade, but also we can't really compare apples to oranges because it's a totally different course
I was
content.
just wondering if that's
And-
maybe something that we.
And it's also maturity too, that plays a factor,
Yeah.
that they're just not mature thinkers. So there are a lot of things, that we'll obviously take a look at, and maybe in the next couple of years, we'll see if Reveal is helping us prepare them
Yeah.
better also for the next level. And this wouldn't be for all of our students. This is,
Right.
so we're going to need to decide who goes in this
Mhm.
path. And then after they meet that requirement, get that Algebra 1 Regents, because they need that for their diploma, then we can decide, okay, where do these students need to go? So we thought maybe an applications of geometry would be best for that type of student, where they're going to get some real world, hands-on experience. Maybe we can incorporate some of Thorne Winter's class into that geometry, maybe we can go across the curriculums. Just even going out and surveying or working with a carpenter.
Absolutely,
Because one of the things in the past
normal
that
for
we
that.
found is that a lot of students were not taking geometry. And that's why we had tried switching it, because we wanted them all to do it. But maybe we didn't look at it in the correct way. Maybe this might be a better option where it offers them some real world.
Yeah, so then when somebody says, what am I gonna do with this?
Yes,
when I get out of
yes,
here?"
which we
You
hear
got some
often.
answers for them.
There you go.
Those are some.
Okay, so.
Did it
and I'm
again.
back. So anyways, okay. I think that's what I'm sure, that's it, okay. And then the next thing is, how are we going to decide where to place the students? And we're going to need to sit down as a math department and we wanted to look at least 2 years of data in terms of test scores, state assessments, teacher recommendation, and try to decide which pathway, to send them. So we do have some work ahead of us. Obviously, we also want to redefine our pathways and hopefully maybe have some summer curriculum work to work on the core syllabus for both of these suggestions. And I think that's all I have for you.
Well, at least you have a plan, so
Yes.
I mean, it's,
But if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you think of something later, you can always email me. They'll come back in Yes.
I like the ideas you have for, the corrections there, that sounds really good.
Thank you.
Do you think that retention has gotten worse for some reason because of distraction,
I don't know if
Or-
distraction, I mean, it could,
anxiety, or just?
I think there's definitely an increase in test anxiety. There's definitely, retention is
Yeah.
difficult for them.
Yeah.
Their confidence is down.
Okay.
They don't spend much time persevering or working on something alone and struggling. They want you right there. And they get frustrated when I tell them, no, you need to think about it first. Because I want them to, and they can work with their peers as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a challenge because we are covering and teaching the content in various ways. And they do so well day to day. And then you start to see week to week that they're forgetting things. So we're even trying to spiral, but then we'll say, all right, go back and look at your notes.
Right.
So it's just, they need that encouragement. It's almost like we need to reteach them how to study, how to work, how to use your notes, and all of us keep that expectation consistent across the board.
that's the maturity that you talked about too.
Mhm.
That's something.
We do know that research is showing that the impact of technology is impacting how brains are developing, and some of that is that retention.
Mhm.
But I I believe the other thing you have been talking about with Dr. Courtwright Torres is creating paths or road maps for certain students,
Yes.
right? Like you would follow this path
Yes.
based on your success and how you've been doing,
Mhm.
so that there's
Yeah.
really clear paths and options for kids.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think would be great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Angela.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I know I went over my 5 minutes.
It's
Thank you.
okay.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good luck.
If that's the wrong arrow, you just use the
Yeah,
other one.
I can really go back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brooke Decker. Thank you for having me
Hi,
today.
Brooke.
I'll be speaking about the science department and what we've been doing recently. So I'd like to start by just introducing everybody. So we have Matthew Fuller, who's teaching Earth Science, which is now called Earth and Space as we move to the new standards. He's also the co-content coordinator. We have Linda Hopkins, who teaches biology and then the science research. We have Jenny Jeffrey, who's teaching chemistry. She teaches a lot, Chem 101, AP Environmental, and then Regents Prep Chemistry. Cassie Kerner teaches basically everything. Regents Physics, Applied Chemistry, Applied Physics, Forensic Science, and then Topics in Science. I teach biology, AP biology, honors biology, and then Regents Prep biology. So all the biologies, and the co-content coordinator. Adam is our 8th grade science teacher. He also teaches anatomy and physiology, which is a college level course, which is very fun this year. And because we have such a large class, he's teaching some labs for us for regular biology, which is now no longer called living environment. So as they change the standards, they're going back to the old names, which is confusing, but there you go. And then Sharon Colabelli is our 7th grade science teacher. So some priorities that we have, our biggest priority, I would say, is to prepare for the new exams. So as we switch from the old exams to the new exam, they are very different. For example, the old living environment regions, which is now called the biology regions, it was 85 questions. More than half of it was multiple choice, and then probably about a third was short answer. There were a specific part based on the region's labs that were required. No longer. The new test is anywhere from 45 to 50 questions, and it's reading intensive. So it's really gone from a content knowledge exam to more of a reading exam. So we've been focusing on having students read, annotate, pull data from graphs. It's just a whole kind of change in how they're thinking, which has been pretty difficult. We are giving the new living environment or biology exam this year. They did Earth and Space last year. And then next year, they'll be giving the new chemistry and physics exam. So as we kind of make the switch, our biggest priority is to prepare our students for those new tests. Obviously, as we do this, we also have to prepare ourselves for this test. So we can't just stay teaching the same way that we've been teaching. We have to kind of embrace the new curriculum. It's a lot of student-led. So basically, we would give them something, they have to read it, they have to look through everything, and then we kind of give them backup or feedback for what they're doing. So it's not so much teacher-led, it's more student-driven instruction, which is different, and they do not love it because they like to have their handheld, so it's kind of getting them into that new mode. Some successes that we've had, this is a really cool trip. This is something that I definitely want to highlight. So throughout New York State, it's called Day in the Life of the Hudson River, and we took AP Biology, we took Topics, and we took AP Environmental. And what we did is basically we went to our Hudson River site, which was Catskill this year, but it goes all the way from New York City to Glens Falls. And students from all of these schools go and they take data on the river. So the favorite station is the seining, which is pictured there. So students take nets in the water, they catch fish, and then you have to identify the fish using a dichotomous key. We also caught some crabs, which was really cool, some blue crabs. We had a chemistry station, so they look at what's the pH of the water? How cloudy is it? Is it murky? Is there a lot of oxygen in the water? And then obviously the physical station. So how windy is it? What are the conditions? What's floating in it? What barges are going past? You keep track of that the whole time you're there. This data is then sent into New York State, and they use it statewide to look at the river as a whole and see what the health is. So this is real science. It's not just something that, you know, oh, why are we doing this? We're actually doing real science. Students are doing real science, and this is reported back and used for New York State. So it's a very, very cool trip. Another success that we had was credit recovery with Miss Kerner. So this year we had 11 students involved. We had 4 in credit recovery and 7 in Regents Prep. All 4 who were in credit recovery got their credit, so 100%, that was great. We had 4 of 7 pass the Regents, and we went overall with our average from a 59 to a 68. So quite a large jump there. One student did drop out of the program, so that's the 10 out of 11, but we had a lot of success. And this was for the living environment Regents. So that was the last time we were offering the old one. There is makeup, there's one more in January, they can take the old living environment Regents, but then as of June, we're switching to the new biology Regents. Our goal is to get some new science courses. And the main reason is to be inclusive not only to the upper level students, but also to the lower level students. And we want them to get credits for graduation. So we want to offer some more college credits for the higher, and then obviously our high school credits for the lower students. So there are foundations of science, which is the big one as a 9th grader. And then most of these other ones are just tweaking our AP courses. We recently found out that you can do college and high school through Columbia Green, and this will apply so they can take the AP exam, but for students who might have test anxiety, because that's huge now, or might, just not be a great test taker, they can still get college credit through Columbia Green. So the first course, this one I'm the most excited about personally. So this is Foundations of Science. This is for 9th grade. It's a 1-credit course. It's a full year course. And the goal of this is to prepare our kids coming into 9th grade who maybe, we were talking about maturity with the math department, right? Maybe they are not the most mature thinkers. Maybe they struggle. Maybe they have just anything that basically might hold them back from passing the Regents. They can take this course first. So this course will be set up to build confidence, strengthen our foundational skills. Maybe graphing isn't great for them. Maybe they don't know the scientific method. That would focus on all of these aspects in this course. Any teacher could teach it. And then at the end of the year, they would either go into earth and space science or biology, depending upon where as a department we thought they would best fit. So this would be upon recommendation from the 7th and 8th grade team. They would say, okay, are these kids up to par? Are they where they should be? If not, great, we'll put them in here. They're still getting a credit, and then we can ensure that they will have a much better chance at passing the Regents exam, because you do need a science credit to graduate. Oh, sorry, I'm back. For AP Environmental, it would be the same course. It would be run as AP Environmental, but we could offer up to 8 college credits through Columbia Green upon completion of the course. So we're in kind of the works talking to Columbia Green right now for that. It would be basically just everything working with the environment, our ecosystem, human impact on the environment. Nothing in the AP curriculum would change. It aligns actually really nicely with Columbia Green credits. For college physics, this one's exciting too. So the Regents curriculum is algebra based. It's not calculus based, which means that it can go for Physics 102 and 101 at Columbia Green Community College. So you can still take the Regents, the kids could still take this class, take the Regents at the end of the year, but they could get 8 college credits for doing so. So that's a really nice kind of incentive to get kids to take physics too, because a lot of kids are like, oh, physics, scary. But in reality, maybe if we offer college credits, they would be able to say, all right, I want to get this done, get that out of the way if they plan on going to college for science, and then also get a Regents credit and our 8 college credits. And then finally, AP Biology, just a disclaimer, it's run every other year, so this would not be for next school year, the following school year, but it would be right along the same lines. We would have our 8 college credits possible. The only thing that I would have to add that doesn't align with Columbia Green right now is comparative anatomy, but the exam is in May, in the beginning of May, so we have essentially a whole month and a half that I could do comparative anatomy, and that's really fun. That's like bones, muscles, looking at the human body. It would be kind of a really fun way to end out the year. So that's pretty much what we have, what our plan is moving forward. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I really like the way it's set up. Nice.
Oh, thank you.
I like the introduction to the science. I think that is really a good idea.
At a previous school that I taught at,
Yeah.
we did do it there, and it was
Yeah,
very
I think
helpful. It was
that's
very
really-
successful.
And it will give it will build some confidence in the kids that don't think that they're capable of doing it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's good.
That's really fun.
Do you know why they changed to a more reading-based test?
I do not know why, and quite
Oh,
frankly,
geez.
I do not think it's kind.
Your
because
state, that's all you have to
where-
say.
That's where the students struggle, and I know that we did not offer that exam last year. We did the both regions last year. But I know that statewide, the feedback was not great. Teachers were really up in arms, parents were really up in arms because it wasn't a fair test. So
Yeah.
I'm interested, we've only seen 2 so far, so we've only seen June and August of last year. I'm interested to see what this January test looks like. And then moving forward, hopefully they'll tweak it, but they're cluster questions. So you get a huge reading paragraph, you get some data, and then you have to extrapolate information, but then they also throw in random questions that aren't related to the reading, so it's just really confusing for the kids.
Weird, yeah.
And they'll have the data on one page and the graph on the next, you have to flip back and forth, so we've been practicing that, and the kids say, why are you doing this, or why are you putting it on the same page? Gotta get you guys ready, you know, so.
I also think that with the new grade 5 and 8 exams
Mhm,
and
yes.
the change in the standards, moving to more exploration and knowing how the format of the grade 5 and the grade 8, your students right now haven't had that experience.
Right,
But those do seem to be more aligned.
yes, they do, the 8th grade test definitely will prepare them, so that will be helpful, that's a good point, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the college in the classroom, always the plan, not APs were not different.
And some colleges don't even take AP unless you get a 4 or 5, so that's what we were kind of thinking, you know, I mean, a 3 is a decent score on an AP exam, and some colleges simply do not accept 3s, so.
Yeah.
This way, they're getting the credit, if they do good on the AP exam, great, that will give them a confidence booster, if not, they pass the class, at least they're getting credit, so.
And the science research day is great. It's been, I don't know, it's been going on in New York State for years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Really good.
Yeah.
I want to go.
I did it when I was in school, so, yeah, it's fun.
Cool.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
We have the superintendent report.
Oh, she turned it off.
Yeah.
Okay. You're still in early.
Sounds nice.
That's so weird, it's doing that. Just the goals again, but in each of these, and that'll be in the report, I just try to highlight some of the things in the last month that are linked to each of these commitments. It's been a really fun month. I know it's been a lot of hard work with staff, fun work, but also a lot of time and attention to details to make things really special for all of our students. The makerspace, I was able to get there a few times this year. There were 12 stations. It was really fun. I was there with 5th grade, 6th grade, and pre-K, and 1st grade, and they all had such a wonderful time. So that was great. Holiday Spirit Week has been also an annual tradition, and that's been a lot of fun. The junior high and the high school concerts were this week and last week, and the art shows, and the students not only did really wonderful performances, but the art that they're producing in the different media is really amazing. And I do want to highlight that because while we have a veteran teacher in art department, we have 2 new teachers, and they have done an incredible job at the junior and senior high level. We've been serving meals. That was really fun. Molly and I served Thanksgiving dinner together, and I hope she's feeling well enough to be there on Friday with me because we were ready for that. But it's always fun to do that and see the kids that way. The Stories Across Generations started this week. That is the 2nd year that we have senior citizens in the community that are coming in to read to students. They're going to be reading to them after school. Last year it was during lunchtime and recess, which, you know, some kids don't want to miss their recess. So we readjusted that this year, and Dr. KT did a huge lift with that, and then working with Mary and Laura to ensure that everything's organized. And then I was also able to go to the Safe at Home event, which was at the Hillsdale Fire Department last week, and that was with some of those senior citizens that are involved, and also recruited one more person, which is great because we had a couple more students join, and we need some more volunteers. The Washington trip to DC for grades 7 and 8 is on. They've needed 40 participants. Nancy Byrne has really done a great job advertising and advocating for that, and even working for students to get scholarships or grants so that everybody who truly wants to go has an opportunity. So that's really wonderful. This Tuesday, we had our leadership holiday breakfast. I know this had gone on in the past, and when I came a few years ago, we decided to do it again. And all of the administration contributed items, and then we serve everybody, all of the staff, and it was really great. It's just fun to wish everybody a happy holiday and to serve them because they do so much for our students in this community. This was great. The Amber Bahoff, one of our new art teachers, has a fashion design class, and she went around to some teachers and said, hey, if our class decorates and designs some ugly sweaters, will some of you wear them? So they were up in the library today, and everybody could go in and vote, and they're all assigned to a teacher. So tomorrow on Ugly Sweater Day, which is part of Spirit Week, there are 12 teachers that will be wearing this. I went in to vote, and I heard 3 people say, I wanted to do that. How come I wasn't asked? So this may become a big tradition. And so here's first place, Alexis Weed and Patricia Brizzi, and then the runner-up. I do know that number 6, the fireplace, is being worn by Mrs. Proper. So I don't know who's wearing the other winning one, but
It's gonna be a dress
so, yeah, it was really great. And just a reminder that this is our why. We always are talking so much about here's the data and this is how we're going to do something and this is what we need to do. But it's so important for us to come back to our why. Why are we here? And this is just a great example of why we're here, all of these kids. And this is such a wonderful week to just be with them and see them. And the second picture of our elves, you know, Miss Annie in the cafeteria decorates these bulletins, and I had to take a picture of this today because it was the cutest thing. It's marshmallows and they're soaking their feet and it's a spa day. And the candles were even lit up in there. And so just all of these wonderful pieces that happen because so many people care and are committed to the why, which is our children.
Shout out to Annie, who was the Grinch.
Yes.
And then Thanksgiving, she was the turkey.
Oh,
Yes. Just some more of our students this week. And the second picture, I love that because one of the stations for Makerspace was creating, with a pencil, creating like a magic wand with your wishes on it for 2026, which was great. Fall Athletic Awards winners, just wanted to share some highlights because our students have done so well. But varsity boys and girls soccer teams advanced to the first round of sectional play. Braden Jaws represented us in golf sectionals. The cross country team saw 4 runners compete in Kingsbury, which is fabulous. Our field hockey team earned their way into the playing game for sectionals. And as you know, our 8-man football team made it to the regionals, and that hasn't happened in decades. So much to be proud of. And, you know, Angela being here tonight wearing 2 very significant and important hats. And sometimes I don't feel she gives herself enough credit for all that she does, not only for what's happening on the fields, but in the classroom. Just a reminder that the NYSSBA Lobby Day in Albany is Wednesday, February 11th. I know that I'm signed up, and if you are interested, please reach out to Alexis in attending that. If you can't do that, but you'd still like to be a part of it, they do have on the Friday before a virtual conference that you could attend. just a couple things that are upcoming in January, the Cosmic Bowling and our well, not our middle school, but our younger students with their concerts and I'm sorry, all of a
Art
sudden I just
shows.
lost, I'm trying to say grade 5 and 6 because they need a little bit more time and I've heard them practicing and they sound really good. Okay, and again, we're always really busy. We have a lot of things going on, but tomorrow is Cookies and Characters in the elementary library for the older students. Are they gonna go Mary or meeting them outside or they're going up to the classrooms?
They're gonna go, I think the classes are gonna.
Meet them?
Yeah, they'll start outside to see some of the older
Right.
kids, and then that way they're not sweating in the costumes for the entire
Yeah.
night. And then they'll go into the library and
Yeah.
the little kids rotate.
For the little ones will be in there. Thank you. And then the Glow Run, I always love going to that. That's super fun. That's on Friday and serving our holiday meal. And then we'll have that much needed break for everybody. And then we'll jump into January. As you can see, we're jumping in pretty busy. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Just a second.
Shout out to the PTO for aligning the spirit weeks this year.
Yes. Yes.
Elementary and high school.
That was something we talked about last year. Mary pointed that out, and then it was great that they made that happen.
Okay, now we have the student board member report. Violet.
All right.
Hi, Violet.
Hi. All right. Good evening, everyone. So as you can see, it has unofficially shifted from fall to winter here at Taconic Hill. Snow has fallen on the ground, as you can see. Pavement has become icy, and so has roads. So be very careful driving. I know that's what they tell the students, and it is a very important thing to have, since roads can be icy, and when you're in the car, your car can skid. So make sure we're all practicing road safety. And temperatures have dropped, and it has become much colder. We even had one snow day. While the weather may be cold, though, Taconic Hills is hot with events. To start, there was a food contest. Where members of the school showed off their best desserts to see who would win. The winners are as follows. In third place, we had the chocolate cake with vanilla frosting made by Grant Prime. In second place, we had the gingerbread sandwich cookies by Sophia Goodacre. And then the winner overall was the pumpkin chai cheesecake by Paul Tanner. Furthermore, as just mentioned, the music department has put on some of their winter concerts, bringing the community together. They also displayed some artwork from some of the art classes. So overall, that brought a whole bunch of the community together. And then over in the elementary school, students also earned a hot chocolate party because they filled up their ticket bin. The goal of the elementary school is to support positive behavior and improve daily attendance at school. And I personally think that this would be beneficial to high school, and they did something like that because, I know some seniors who would love some hot chocolate. We had some at the book club meeting today, and it went kind of fast. And it would also be, more importantly, a better way for high school students to improve attendance, since in our town hall meetings, we mentioned that attendance is an issue at high school. So hopefully that gives an incentive to have people come to school. And then also in the library, we also recently had a Disguise a Turkey contest. The best turkey disguise ended up being the Tati turkey, which was a turkey inspired by one of our students, Tati Young. In second place went to a turkey disguised as Mr. Kleba, and third place went to some red and black turkey. I had no idea what it was, but I just remember it was red and black. Everyone did a great job with their arts, and congratulations to the winners. The library also recently started a book club. Our meeting was today, and it was the reappearance of Rachel Price, which was a thriller by Holly Jackson. Many students found the read to be interesting and were drawn into the story, and we had a great discussion about that today. And the book talk was enjoyed with some hot chocolate and some cookies, creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere for avid readers. This upcoming month, we will be reading The Diary of Anne Frank, giving our students a historical peek into the past. On November 22nd, our football team unfortunately had its last game. While we are sad on this loss, there were many highlights of the game. Firstly, senior Jacob Alvarez was named MVP, and Colin Pigley, Tristan Super, and Xavier Castle were also recognized as key players. With football season having ended, basketball season has now started. The boys won their first game against the Rams on Monday the 8th. Makai Kirby and Jesus Mercado were important players in the game as well. In addition, boys volleyball is back after having to be cut last year to low interest. In fact, they have a game today, and I had the pleasure of attending the game right before this meeting. I also had the pleasure of attending the game on 12/11, and while unfortunately they lost that game, the team demonstrated great teamwork and showed room for improvement. David Gomez Flores, one of the seniors, especially showed amazing teamwork and had some great serves in the game. And I also saw him tonight, and he was doing a great job along with many of the other boys. So great job to the volleyball. And then now transitioning to our varsity basketball cheer squad. Our varsity basketball cheer squad has gotten 7 new girls on the team, with 5 of the girls being completely new to the sport of cheer. The veterans have been doing a great job at leading the team and showing patience and compassion both on and off the sidelines as we teach them cheers. And then some of our athletes have also committed to schools for sports. Clyde Drake has recently committed to Wesleyan University in Connecticut for track and field, and Jacob Alvarez has also recently committed to SUNY Utica for baseball, so that's amazing to hear. Also this month, the senior class recently held its annual craft fair, and Webster was in charge of that. So in addition to being athletic director and a math teacher, she's also head of the senior class, so great job, Webster. I had the pleasure of working the bake sale with my mother. We ended up doing great business, for we sold almost the whole table of items. When I wasn't at the table and business was slow, I was walking around the fair shopping, and I ended up buying some earrings, which I have right here, and they're candy canes, so they're very festive. A necklace, it's kind of similar to this one, but not really, except it's a heart, but it has a silver chain. And I also brought like a pink knitted duck, because I'm always happy to support local vendors that help our school. While shopping was indeed the dominant activity in the fair also had a meet and greet with Santa, Mrs. Claus, the Grinch, and 2 elves. And these were played by Caden Klein, Sophia Saccaroli, Tati Young, Alex Soddard, and Megan Quinion. Additionally, an arts and crafts section was led by student Makai Kirby. Webster herself said in an announcement that the craft sale was a huge success, and she posted this in the senior Google Classroom. And while we're on the topic of bake sales, the National Honor Society also had their winter bake sale before November break. Some of the food that was sold included gingerbread cookies, spice cake, and chocolate chip cookies. It was quite a big seller, making $357.46 for the National Honor Society. In our out-of-district program, students have been quite busy. In Homeland Security, the students went on a field trip to a drone flying site and had the opportunity to fly drones. In our Pathways in Education classes, students have recently completed DAS training and are officially DASA certified. The students are also working on their Enduring Issues project, in which students are placed into small groups and come up with a topic together on an enduring issue in education and research it. After researching, the group will propose a solution during a presentation in March to administrators from school all across New York State. My group is currently researching transportation issues in school and how the issue impacts access to education. And one thing that I found, since in New Visions, it gives me an opportunity to network with kids from other schools and see what their schools are doing. She attends East Greenbush. She mentioned how at her school, her superintendent even got his CDL so he could drive the bus, and it was all over the news and everything. And I found this to be a crazy anecdote and an eye-opener to just how severe the bus driver shortage is, and it kind of relates to an experience I unfortunately had today. So today, I was in the parking lot waiting for my bus, and the bus never came, so I wasn't able to attend class in person because the bus did not come and pick us up, and I tried driving up to Ichabod, but I missed the bus by 2 minutes. And while my teachers did give me the option of doing the class remote, which I did, it still impacted my learning because important books were being passed out today, and I was unable to get one due to my absence. I looked at many local libraries and college libraries, however, they did not have it. All right, moving on. In addition to working hard on our projects, we do remember to have fun as well in our class. We recently started our Secret Santa gift exchange, which not only provides a respite from our honors level projects, but also a festive way to bond with classmates and teach the importance of giving and gratitude. The gifts will be handed out at a classroom party on Friday. All right, this is quite long, so bear with me. While on the topic of New Vision, T Hills recently had a presentation about the various programs. Many students at the meeting were really interested in the program, especially the medical and science program. One of our very own students, Senneth Waterhouse, was even featured in the presentation and on the flyer, so he's kind of low-key famous. And the juniors were excited to see Senneth featured. And then over at Westar, the culinary program collaborated with many other programs, such as the construction technology program and the electrical engineering program, to create a gingerbread train, which is now at the Joe Bruno train station. And heavy equipment students have also been working hard on landscaping a cemetery using various types of machines. And the district also had a lockdown drill. I was in my 7th period work hall during the lockdown drill, and overall, I observed all students seemed to follow procedures and maintain appropriate behavior. On top of all that, all grades had their town halls this month. The key observation I noticed during my town hall, especially for the seniors, is not a lot of students showed up, and this is probably due to the fact that the meeting for seniors was held last period, and many seniors have the senior privilege of leaving early. A possible solution for this would to be either to record the town hall meeting or post the minutes in the senior Google Classroom, such as what we do for our class monthly meetings with Mrs. Webster. This would help seniors stay in the loop on things such as scholarship dates, paperwork, and expectations. And the trio, we had a meeting with Ms. Brunger and Mr. Simons, and we brought this up, and he seemed to be pro the idea. Another idea I thought of having is having the student representatives present at the junior meeting at the end of the year to give more information about what we do. Since as a junior last year, I felt that there was very limited information and I didn't really know much about it, and I don't really want any of the juniors going through what I had to go through, and it would also create more student voice. And it would also, one thing, help the student body get to know our representatives, and surprisingly, a lot of students do not know that myself, along with Clyde and Francesca, are student representatives until we tell them. And I think that's kind of important that you know who your student reps are. As for the bathrooms, some students reported that some monitors are allowing 2 people in the bathroom at a time rather than 1. While this is great news, others reported that the policy is kind of unbalanced, and it's important that the policy is uniform so confusion can be avoided. And Mr. Simons, in that meeting that I mentioned earlier, he has agreed to form a committee after the new year to discuss topics such as the bathroom policy and other plans. He's planning on calling it the Titan First Committee, but we don't have an official name for it. Those are just ideas. So if anyone has any ideas, feel free. And the honor roll was also announced. The following below are some statistics regarding the honor roll, which is, can I just hold up the table?
What do you want to do, pass it down?
I'm not, since they have the table there.
You can just pass it around.
All right.
Pass it down when you're done, so everyone can see.
All right, I'm passing this paper down so you guys can see it.
Oh, you finished your report?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the last part of it? Okay.
Yeah, that's the last
Well, I was just
part.
saying you can finish it and then you can pass it down.
Yeah, that's the last
You know
one.
what?
Otherwise, you gotta wait for us to pass it down.
Perfect.
There
Thank
you go.
You have access.
What am I doing with this?
You're gonna pass it back, because
She's gonna finish.
Alexis is gonna pull it up, because she has access to the report.
Yeah.
December.
That's good.
All right, you guys will be able to see it on the
All
board.
right.
Hopefully the board doesn't black out again.
What did you title this? I remember what you titled this.
We thought it was.
There it is.
Okay, keep going.
There we go.
Perfect. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
All right. So as you guys can see, as I mentioned before, the honor roll was also announced, and the following on the board are some statistics regarding the honor roll, and here are some of my thoughts. The 49 students on the high honor roll in the senior class could account for the fact that seniors could be taking easier classes, therefore giving them higher grades. And there seems to be a dip in the amount of students both on merit, honor, and high honor in 10th grade. My guess is that many sophomores might take harder classes during that year, hence why their averages may dip. And then in total, 186 students are on the high honor roll, followed by 93 students on the honor roll and a 76 on the merit roll. And these are all great. However, I do have a few questions. Are the averages on the high honor roll weighted or unweighted? Meaning, like, I know I've been talking to Mr. Trammell about this, and he says that some classes are weighted and some are unweighted. And you have weighted averages and your unweighted averages. So are those taken into account on when you get on the honor roll? And then what are we doing to make so many students on the high honor roll? I'm just very curious about that. And to conclude, many events have happened in the Taconic Hills community, from bake sales to craft fairs to basketball games. T Hills has it all. We will continue to have many school events as well, even after the meeting. Some of these events include the senior class bowling night at Ho Bowl on January 10th, the elementary school band concert on January 27th, and the return of the Harlem Wizards on February 7th. However, not all good things are upcoming, for midterms and January regions are also around the corner, and this is causing stress for our students as they cram for these important exams. I wish everyone a happy holiday break as well as we conclude this report. Please take the break to rest and relax and spend some time with family and friends to come back to school rested and recharged and ready to finish out quarter 2. And that concludes the student board report.
Wow. Thank you, Violet. That was very detailed. That was awesome.
Good job, yeah. I don't know how you remembered to put all that in, because I'm not sure that I remember what happened prior to the start of this week.
It's ongoing.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the Board of Education member activity report. Start with Sands.
My brain is fogged right now. I have no idea what I've done this
All right, Janine.
I went to the junior high winter concert last night, and it was great. And I guess it's something new. I think they're starting to do. They did like a little musical, like drama club at the end of after the
nice.
chorus and the band, and it was great. It was so sweet. It was like a little like Christmas kind of theme. I think it's for them practicing for like when they're in high school and maybe drama club in high school. And then I also went to the parent-teacher conferences in November. And I really appreciate Violet. I love the information and the commentary, and like it's really funny. And I really enjoy having like a student board member on the board. And so I feel like we hear so much, and it's so nice to hear from like a student sharing that. So thank you.
Joe?
It snowed out.
Okay. Margaret?
I went to an indoor track meet. There were 3 Taconic Hills students there in New York City. It was insane.
Nice.
It ended at 10 p.m. on a Friday night.
Oh.
I was exhausted. It was like a 3-ring circus.
Oh, I
I've
can
never been
imagine.
to one before. It was awesome, and all 3 kids that went did really well. They all have already placed to go to state quals for
Nice.
indoor track, so they really did well. I went to parent-teacher conferences. The bake sale was awesome. Seemed like a pretty good turnout that night. And then I did go to the craft fair here, which was really nice. The seniors, like Violet described, dressed up in costumes, welcoming little kids into the library, and just bought some stuff. I bought a wreath handmade by one of Clyde's classmates, Dylan, who's a very good artist, and so that's hanging on my front door.
Oh,
It was a nice craft fair. Angela also, I think,
it
put
looked
that
nice.
together, so it went really well, yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
I have nothing.
I have nothing as myself. How about you?
I was able to attend, I think, the first budget committee meeting on Monday, where Ashley and Lynette gave a very nice report on the opening of our budget season. They gave that report to a small crowd of people, but they were very interested.
Okay.
It was Sam and me.
Okay.
Bonnie and I on the committee.
Good conversation too, I think.
Hmm?
Good conversation too, I think, about.
All right, so we're gonna get into new business now. We have some policies that are up for second read. We have 5405, 5130, 4311.1-R, 4750. Motion, please. Margaret, second. Rick?
Yep.
Any questions? And Margaret, do you want to talk about any of them?
Let's see. An assessment, we just needed to add an assessment form to the staff and student
Yep.
wellness.
5130, what did we do there? That's the compulsory attendance. Well, we're trying to work on attendance. We've reviewed that. The display flag we talked about last month. We're following municipal regulation and what was the other one we did? Oh, and promotion, the promotion and retention of students, right. Oh, the compulsory attendance aid was navigating the 16, 17-year-old working, how we're gonna word that. That's it, yeah. They're all pretty straightforward.
All right, any other questions? All in favor? Thank you. Next up, we have field trip going to, the FFA is going to us. Okay, thank you. A motion, please. Sam, second. Margaret? Any questions? All in favor? All right, now I need a motion for the agreement with the therapy dog handler, Linda Miller. I need a motion, please. Sam, second. Margaret? Any questions? All in favor? Need a motion for an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Copake. A motion, please. Ron, second. Rick? Any questions? All in favor? Okay, now we have the neuropsychological evaluation services contract with, do we have the name of the place? The District and Children's Neuropsychological Services, PLLC. Motion, please. Margaret, Joe, any questions?
Is that just because we didn't have a contract on file with anyone?
We revised the rate last time and then they just sent us a revised contract with the rate.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, let me flip back pages. Now we have memorandum of agreement with the Taconic Hills Faculty Association to clarify the allowance of physical education teachers to accept students of an absent or occupied physical education teacher in addition to their own students and teach both classes simultaneously. Motion, please. Margaret, second. Joe, any questions? All in favor?
Do you have a question, Sam?
I just wish there was like a cap. It makes me nervous when we say like 2 PE classes, because I know sometimes the high school classes or junior high classes can be really big. So like how many kids are they supervising? I just wish there was like, and obviously the association didn't come to one, so that's fine. I just would like for there to be a cap, because how many, right, what gym spaces can be very unstructured at times and also a bit dangerous with all of the equipment, so it just leaves me a little concerned.
Okay. In resolution of the Board of Education, the State of New York purpose of entering into a contract with the Co-op Educational Services. This is for 2 new Xerox machines. Motion, please. Ron and Joe. Any questions? All in favor? All right, now we have a sports merger with Hawthorne Valley for varsity and modified girls track and field, varsity modified boys track and field, varsity JV and modified baseball, varsity JV and modified softball, varsity teams, varsity tennis. So I need a motion for that, please. We got Margaret and second. Sam, any questions? All in favor? Now we have the design services proposal with SEI Group for the Terrazzo flooring repair project. Cost of the service is going to be $80,000 plus reimbursables. I need a motion, please. Sam and Ron, any questions? All in favor? Now we have the personnel agenda. It's going to go B through L. I need a motion for the personnel agenda. Margaret, second. Rick. We'll go through that. We have short-term appointment of an elementary teacher to replace Linda Ackerman. Anybody got anything they want to ask? You're good? Okay, all in favor? Thank you. So public forum number 2. All right. Additional items to discuss. I just have one right now, and that's, they're doing the mystery reader, January 12th. It's a Monday. If you could sign, if anybody would like to sign up to read to the kids. I did it a couple, I think last year or the year before. It was really cute. If anybody's got time or wants to sign up, just some right here in front of me. That's all I have. Anybody else got anything? Anything? Okay, we will not be having an executive session tonight. So, yeah, look at Janine's face. I love it. Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Rick
Sure.
and Ron. All in favor? Yay! What time is it? 7:16. Yay!
That was a lot.
Somebody